You're at 109 right now.
I can't make this up. I bought this book today. The book has been on my mind for a number of years, ever since I learned of the book's existence. I didn't go in the direction of buying the book because there's so many books to buy. And then today I bought the book, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. This is another piece of the puzzle. It does it so well. It presents it so well. Okay, first off, in the introduction, there's a quote by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It reads, "Almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better." Let me read that one again. Almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better. Okay? So, what am I doing with IC 10-9?
You're at 109 right now.
I'm being creative. I'm expressing my creativity. I'm certainly I'm telling the truth. I'm giving you exactly my experience, but I'm also expressing myself creatively. All right. For instance, I've created artwork to tell my story of 10-9. The artwork is available at ic109.store. Please check out my website. I'm making videos about IC 10-9 on YouTube. I'm practicing my photography by uploading pictures to Instagram whenever 10-9 calls, or whenever I'm inspired by a beautiful sight. For instance, today I snapped a number of photos of the landscape right here in Los Angeles. So these are my creative expressions, the creative ways that I'm expressing myself, and this story 10-9. And Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote has just made my day, and I can't believe that even that on the first page of this book that quote is written there, and on top of that, it just resonates with me so deeply. It's like, boom, for real, there it is. All right, so let me continue. I've only opened the book to the introduction, and the first quote and the first paragraph have just inspired me tremendously, immensely. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This is why I needed this book, okay? The book has proven valuable immediately. As soon as I opened the book and read the introduction and the first paragraph, everything is there. Okay, so let me explain, or let me read to you. No. We're going to do a little bit of both. I'll read a little, I'll explain more. Okay. I'm excited because I've brought to your attention the work of art by Jean-Michel Basquiat entitled All Colored Cast. Part 2. There are two of these canvases. And the second canvas, part 2, is the canvas that captured my attention a couple of years ago. You see, when I saw the work of art, I noticed that the number 10 and 9 have been written on that work of art.
You're at 109 right now.
And when I saw that, of course, my attention, was with that work. Like I wanted to know what work, what's the name of that work? How can I find that work? I want to see the full work. I need a poster. I want to print out. I want to put that wall. I want to put that on my wall. And so I did all of these things. I found a print of the poster. I found the name. I did the research. I bought a copy, and now it's framed on my wall. So all of that has been done. Now, I do want to tell you that when I saw this work of art, it was it just so happened it was randomly, just one random night I happened to be bored, and then I put the kind of like tonight, where I was like, what am I gonna do? Let me read this book, and boom, there it is, right in front of me. There was this night I was bored. I put a DVD on. Excuse me. I started watching the DVD, and around 11:08, 11:07, maybe 11:06, the image of this painting, flashed across the screen, and the particular image of that painting that they showed in this documentary that I was watching on this DVD, well, they showed the portion where the number 109 is. Because I'm all about 109, right? Imagine if they did not show that portion, that part of the painting, then I probably wouldn't even know that painting even existed. But you see, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So it was a few minutes before 11:09 p.m. when I saw those numbers on that painting. I jumped up, grabbed my phone, I reversed the video, I watched it again, I took a photo of the image, and then I started typing out a message to post about what I found on Facebook. And when I was ready to post about what I had found, I looked at the clock, and it was 11:09 p.m. when I submitted that post for Facebook. So 11:09, so 109 was right there in the time at which I let the world know about it. But remember, I wasn't planning any of this. I wasn't thinking about the time. When I saw 109 on the screen, I wasn't thinking about what time it was. I just thought, hey, there's 109. There it is. I grabbed my phone. I started, writing out a little message to put onto Facebook. And then right when or right before I pressed send, I saw the time. It was 11:09. That's wild, right? But it works within the theme.
You're at 109 right now.
That's not what I wanted to tell you. I just had to get that out of me. This is a creative expression, a creative process for me. So there was that. There was that night. That's how I discovered this painting. Right now, this painting, I'll tell you about it. It was created in 1982. The picture that was painted, the picture that was drawn, the image, what you see in that painting is the image of a man who was born in 1985. I'll say it again. The painting that was made in 1982 was of a man who was born in 1985. Now, how is that possible? Well, sometimes artists will paint prophetic art. I watched the video about this last night on YouTube. It's called prophetic art. When the artist is working with God's mission, unknowingly, unbeknownst to them, they will create art that is prophetic. And so I believe this is what happened with Jean-Michel Basquiat. He found his calling and he followed it. And so he worked diligently to express his creativity. Excuse me. Now, so what happened? Basquiat painted this work of art. He painted a male figure on the canvas, and he wrote some things and he drew some things around this man. And everything that he wrote, well, let's not say everything, but so many of the things that he wrote around the image of the man relate to Nipsey Hussle. The late Nipsey Hussle, whose name was Ermias Askedam. Ermias Joseph Askedam. Ermias meant, his first name, Ermias, meant God will rise. That's such a prophetic name to be given. And for the lifetime, for his lifespan, for it to have been so public and so demonstrative, the comparisons between Nipsey and Jesus are just they're too easy. It's too easy to make these comparisons. Now, of course, Nipsey never walked on water. However, there is that video for Victory Lap where he's in a boat. He's standing on the boat riding the waves. He may not be literally standing on water, but he's certainly standing up on water. It's semantics, He is on water. He is standing. Well, he wasn't walking, but he was moving on waters. It's a bit of a stretch, some mental gymnastics. But for what more I have to tell you about this particular painting and the connection to Nipsey, there isn't a lot of mental gymnastics for you to do. You don't have to. It's all right there, and it's my job to help you see it.
You're at 109 right now.
So, let me try to help you see this. Go to Google, type in Jean-Michel Basquiat. Maybe you don't have to write his full name. Maybe you can just type Basquiat, Basquiat, Basquiat. And then type in all colored cast. All colored cast. It's like if everyone on a TV show was black or Latino, all colored. Everyone on the cast is colored. Okay, all colored cast. All right, so you look at that painting. That's by, when you find that painting and you look at it, well, that's Jean-Michel Basquiat's artwork. And I'm going to decipher it for you. Number one, there is a figure. There is a figure in black. A figure in black. That's Nipsey. Okay? That's Nipsey Hussle. I know it doesn't look like Nipsey. I know. But just follow me, okay? So that's Nipsey. If you look to the left of the male figure, you will see the numbers 1, 0, and 9 in the lower left corner. Excuse me again. All right. Now, how do I know this is Nipsey? Well, if you watch the music video for the song Crenshaw and Slauson, True Story by Nipsey Hussle, toward the end of the video, you will find a picture of Nipsey that was taken when he was in Tokyo, Japan. Now, I know that it was taken in Tokyo, Japan, because I've been to Tokyo, Japan. So when I saw the picture, I immediately recognized that picture. Anyhow, that picture is there. And in that picture, there is Nipsey Hussle. And to the left of Nipsey, however, in the upper left corner, the numbers 10 and 9 are visible.
You're at 109 right now.
Did you catch that? In the painting, all colored cast, there is a male, a male figure, and then to the left, you will see the number 109. In the picture, you will see a male figure, Nipsey, and to the left, you will see the number 109 or 109. Same, right? The picture and the painting are the same. Okay, I know that the painting doesn't look like Nipsey. I get it. But let's continue, shall we? If you look at the painting, you will see that the word China has been written on the painting. China. All right, let's go to the picture. The picture was taken in an Asian country. Not China, but it was taken in Japan. So the fact that China is written on the painting is peculiar. Okay. But that's a little bit of mental gymnastics. I get it. You want more concrete evidence. Okay, let's move on from there. All right. Do you see the number? Okay, wait. Look at the painting. And do you see the number 47? Well, 4 plus 7 equals 11. Let's just remember that, 11. Now, do you know how many times Nipsey was shot? I know it's a very sad, it's a very morbid, macabre question. I know, but let's deal with the facts. The police reports, if you search Google and if you read about the details of Nipsey's shooting, you'll find that they say that Nipsey was shot between either 10 or 11 times. There was another gentleman who was on the scene who was shot as well, and some accounts say that Nipsey was shot 10 times and that other gentleman was shot once. So 10 plus 1, well, that equals 11. So there's a connection between what really happened to Nipsey and what you look at or what you see on that painting. And that's another connection. Okay. Still, you're not convinced. Okay, but let's continue, shall we? Please. What is it? Indulge me. Let me indulge myself here. Let me continue with my expression of my creativity, please.
You're at 109 right now.
Let's look at the painting. They're in the male figure. Look at the body, the torso. The artist, Jean-Michel Basquiat, wrote the word chest. Wrote the word chest there. Now, Nipsey Hussle was shot. Nipsey Hussle was shot in his head, his foot, and also his chest. Okay? Now, the bullets. Okay, this is according to the reports. You've got to do a little bit of research. Go to Google, search the information, find it. You will hear that they say that Nipsey was shot in his chest. When you read the details of the shooting, perhaps on the Los Angeles Times or maybe the New York Times or wherever you can find an article about Nipsey's shooting. Okay. Now, inside the chest, you have the heart. You have the kidneys, you have the spleen, you have the lungs, you have the liver, there's the stomach. That's lower. It's in the lower region, but still, the chest region, yeah. Well, where was Nipsey shot? He was shot in his chest, and according to the reports, he was shot in his liver and lungs. The liver and the lungs are some of the largest organs in the chest cavity, y'all. So that's a connection between Nipsey and Jean-Michel's painting. I know I started with this talking about this book, and I'm going to get to that book. Please don't think that I forgot. I'm cooking here. I'm cooking here, okay? I'll try to speed this up though. Now, we've covered a lot, okay? And I've shown you how these elements on the painting are related not only to the picture that was taken of Nipsey, but also to the event that occurred, the shooting that occurred to Nipsey. One last thing. At the top of the painting, the artist wrote Alexander the Great. Well, he was a leader of Greece. And Greece is where the first marathon was run, and where, and the story behind the marathon is that the first marathoner, his name was Phidippides. Well, he ran from the city of Marathon, where the battle occurred, to the city of Athens. And his job was to tell the Athenians that they were victorious, that they had won. Did you hear that? I said marathon and victory when describing Alexander the Great and what happened in Greece. Marathon and victory. If you know Nipsey Hussle, you know his brand is the marathon. And you know that his debut album was entitled Victory Lap. All right. That was pretty much all that I had to connect Nipsey to the painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat. That was pretty much all I had until just a few days ago, a week or so, less than a week ago. And I noticed something and I said, oh my gosh, there's another detail that I overlooked all this time. And now, tonight, I opened my book and I read the first paragraph of this book and I'm blown away by it. Here, let me tell you I'm going to read the paragraph, all right? It says here, ever heard of Nipsey Blue? When Crayola asked for a name for its newest shade of blue, that's the name fans proposed to honor the late Ermias Askedam, known to the hip-hop world as rapper Nipsey Hussle. What if I told you this enigmatic hue was first developed by the ancient Egyptians over 5,000 years ago? Alrighty. I'm not going to reread that, but what I want to call your attention to is that the author is making a connection between Nipsey and the color blue, which that connection is based upon his gang affiliation with the Crips organization, right? So then, what does that have to do with the painting? Well, on the painting, if you look at the forehead of that male figure that Jean-Michel Basquiat painted, guess what color he used on the forehead? You guessed it. It's blue. And because we know who Nipsey is, we can call that blue Nipsey Blue. Why not? Since we're drawing connections between the painting and Nipsey, yeah, we might as well. It's there. It's there, y'all. All of these connections and all of these details are right there in the painting. Right there in the painting. And the painting was created in 1982. And Nipsey Hussle was born in 1985. I tell you, this is unbelievable. This is wild. The fact that all of this is right in plain sight, this is unbelievable. Really and truly. So what does it mean then? Well, you have to decide. It's for you to decide. I don't want to lead you anywhere. I just want to make it clear to you what is there. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to another IC109 podcast. I'm your host, Larry Wiggs, and it's been a pleasure to share with you all that I have found, discovered. Now, I did not discover these things because I went looking for them. I didn't go looking for them. No. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And these things revealed themselves to me. So if you're here with me, then you're at the right place at the right time. Kobe, let them know where they are.
You're at 109 right now.
Peace and blessings.